I'm just going to kind of read through our agenda tonight. First will be my message, and then the manager's report, the election results, the question and answer period, if we could hold all questions to that time frame, and then introduce the new president and board members. And I just wanted to thank y'all for putting your faith in me and let me serve the club this year. It's been a great year. The club has had extraordinary growth, the largest in its history. We had the PGA come back, and we're hoping that will continue. We've got 2 more years of that, and we'd love to renegotiate that and bring them back. And then just all the help that I've had from different members and from my board, and just thank you. Just wanted to say thank you. Also wanted to recognize a couple of members that we lost this year, Lee Allen and Terry Menon, long-term members and great members, and just hate to see them go, but just wanted to recognize them. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Porter and let him go through his agenda, and then I'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I'm surprised. We got a chilly night and so much other things to do, and you wanted to come out and see me. That's amazing. I'm impressed. So, since you came, when you come to the meeting, you get gifts. So, staff's got a little something for you. So, when you're tailgating, you got a little Greystone koozie. Make sure you get gifts. So, we got a few topics tonight. We're going to start off with successes, and then we don't get complacent. So, after the successes, we're going to talk about works in progress. Unfortunately, we're not just adult camp or kids camp. It is a business. So we want to talk about the business side of things, even if that could be boring. And then the exciting future we have. So I'm really excited to be here with you today and talk to you about all this. So I have 2 passions in life, because that's all time allows. That still gives me 4 hours of sleep. Number 1 passion are my kids. And my son is smart. Moved to Alabama, pick Auburn, pick Alabama. I'm like, don't do it. So Mr. Toma was nice enough, gave my son a Vanderbilt hat. So let him right down there. So we're good. It's better that way because he's 13 and he's 5'10", 210. So let him play baseball. My other passion is your amazing club. And I'm very privileged to be here and to try to lead you into the future. So I'm excited that the topic tonight is Greystone. That's what we get to talk about, is you and what we can do and what we have done. So without this team, a lot of things wouldn't happen. Last year, I think we look at last year's annual meeting to this year's annual meeting, and I think, all right, last year when I was standing in front of you, we were just bowl eligible. We were going to like the Las Vegas Bowl at 6-6, and we were playing Akron. And we won, by the way. This year we're 9-3. We didn't quite make the playoff, but we're going to the Cotton Bowl or the Sugar Bowl. They're still going to let us know next week. All right, so next year we're going to the playoffs. And then we'll win the championship will be after that. So these guys really help me do this day in and day out. But before I recognize them, I'm not trying to just be mushy and tell you what people want to hear. I've been 25 years in this business, and this board, last year's board, this club, fantastic. I want to recognize, last year's board was amazing, this year's board's amazing too. So I want to introduce the board. I want to make sure that they get the accolades for being great leaders, taking risks, maybe upsetting some of you that are their friends. And I'm the only one that gets paid. They get the big bucks. They get to spend all that time with me. So I want to introduce Mr. Roy Sewell, our chairman of the board. Make sure you all know who he is. Our president, Terry Smith. Vice President Russ Hale, President-elect. Leaving the board, Matt Scalisi. Mr. Vines is stuck with me for 2 more years. Mr. Stanfa, Ron Stanfa is leaving the board, unfortunately. And poor Mr. Clayton stuck with me for 2 more years. Mr. Scott Peters is here somewhere. He had to leave. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Mr. Scott Peters and Janice Fulmar as well. They've done a great job. It's been an incredible year. And I'm going to recap it for you. So instead of going through all these names, you know these amazing faces, but we do want to point out the folks that are new. So over here we got our new chef, Alan Martin, Michael Edwards working Cellar 91, Brian Lasota, everybody's buddy at his tree house over there at Legacy, Helen Humphreys, and Lynette was here with us last year, but so we have some nice additions to the team. In addition to that, we have key employees, and sometimes when people leave, we get nervous. Who's going to replace them? What's going to happen? Well, we always, as you know, you look at for someone different. Obviously, you know, we're going to look at Calvin versus me. He's incredibly gregarious. I'm not. So I'm just saying, personality-wise, when I'm not doing a presentation, table to table, go and see, we just all have different personalities. So we always look for the opposite. It tends to be that way. So we got 2 new sous chefs who are amazing. We have Liz Mattioli is here. We have Dalton in the fitness. So we've really added some great team members. You have these folks here. We had Wendy Dowling has joined us. Allie Sloan does our graphics. Sherry Kidd was here in the Residential Association for over 20 years. And Courtney Chamberlain has jumped right in and doing a great job. For Director of First Impressions, best title in America. We had Sarah May, who you all might have liked and loved, but Chelsea Carver's doing a great job. One of the greatest additions we did this year was we got Ashley a team. So she has a sales team of Josh Swing, Jeffrey McDaniel, and David Walters. So those are our sales associates that actually go out and sell membership. So it's really been a great addition. So successes. We all feel like Bernard every day when we get out of bed, don't we? I know I do. After a couple of creaks in the back, I'm ready. So I want to talk about the good things and then talk about the things we can do better at. So our accomplishments so far, we kind of look at this as hard to follow, but in January, people might have thought I was crazy when we did the golf swap. So we built Steve an office upstairs. We brought Dave over. John went over to Legacy. Probably, I'll give myself credit, that was probably one of the best decisions I made. Because Steve is absolutely the most amazing director of golf, and he's shined this year in that role. And Dave has really been able to challenge himself and do an amazing job by taking over what is a busier operation. I won't say it's bigger, but it's busier because this is kind of home base. And John has been able to thrive as a young man over at Legacy. So I think that's really worked out great. We did some neat little things where we had new range balls, we upgraded that. I see them in your bags. I give the bad guys 50 cents for every one they get back. We got new golf course maintenance equipment. I don't think there's a superintendent that deserves it more than Jason.
Amen.
That guy doesn't. So we made this board, last year's board, they made tough decisions. We engaged ourselves in an equipment lease that we desperately needed. And we really needed to get new equipment in here. We had equipment that was from 6 months old to 25 years old. You just can't give you the consistency you deserve. In April, we opened the cellar. We've been roller coaster down there, and I'm going to address that as our improvements that we need to do. But we got new beverage carts, and now you can get food on them. We have hot food, hot dogs out there, and we got some cold sandwiches now. We have online dining reservations, and then one of our biggest accomplishments was the tournament. I thought we hosted it great. I thought we represented the community great, represented Birmingham great. So I think all of you should be very proud of what we did there. We gave back a lot to charity here in these 2 events. And then in September, we had our 25th anniversary. We hired a new chef. Sometimes we make bad hires. You've all been through it. Mr. Vines knows it better than anybody here. That sometimes it all seems good and it just doesn't go well. So we pulled the plug and we got another guy in here who's doing an incredible job so far. If you haven't experienced what's happening with Chef Martin, you're going to experience it soon because tomorrow we unveil a new menu in the cellar. So he's really putting his personal touch in there. And we're kind of proud of this. We got, by Birmingham Magazine, we got voted Best in Birmingham Workplace. So that's pretty good. Staff's Not going to kill us. So, let's talk about one of our greatest successes then this year is membership. So Ashley and her team and you, the members, really helped us. So this is my favorite slide of, it's hard to measure. We're not in sports, so we don't have standings. This is kind of one of our benchmarks to measure. So over here we have our new members and then resignations and our net. In 2011, -7, -10, -22, -4. 2015, +8. See? We went to the Vegas Bowl. We were 6 and 6. Now this year, 98. Positive 98. So, pretty good year. Next year, we're trying to be realistic. We had a couple things going for us. We did a membership drive with the car, which I'll talk about in a minute, and we also had the membership appreciation certificates where someone could come in with discount initiation. So we're trying to be realistic over here because we want to make budget again so that no one has to deal with dues recovery. So that you see what's in the budget is 89 new members coming in and 44 resignations. So right now, in total, at the end of this year, we'll have 852 members.
Wow.
Our goal is to get to 1,000. So if we succeed next year, we'll be very, very close to 900. And so, like I said, if we can all chip in and do our part, we'll get even better. So, like I said, we added 4 sales associates. We had 1 in the past. We did the Reach for 1,000 campaign, which we're still in until we get to 1,000. And then we had the 70 appreciation certificates were redeemed. And then we gave away a car. That's not bad. They were pretty happy that night. So then this is my favorite because it's not just about bringing in new members. It's about all of you that are sitting in here. It's about retention. You saw those numbers that I showed you before. It's still not good. It's still 45, 50 people leaving. I don't want it ever to even creep up over 4%. And then that means that we can't go over 43 today. So next year, I can't have that going up. So we have to focus on retention. So I got to get my props out because we got to have some fun. We don't have enough fun around here. So here we go. Catch that fish. So you guys are not allowed to leave the pool. So retention's number 1. Because we take care of you, high quality, new programs, add value for you. If you don't want to leave, now we can build. People get transferred, things like that, but I don't want the conversation to be on the phone or in a letter that just wasn't using it. That's awful. That means we're not doing our job. So one of the things the sales team's going to do is they're going to start calling all of you. So you should get 2 to 3 calls a year and talking to you about your experiences and what can we do better at. If it's I had a bad burger or I had a bad this, we're going to take it seriously and you'll probably get a call back from the chef. But if you say, just not happy because I can't get a game, or I'm not happy because the fitness doesn't offer the classes I want, well, we can fix that. We'll get you a game. Steve will play with you every day. Just kidding. I need him from the chef. But retention, the board has done a lot this year. I'm so proud of what they did. We had this senior membership category was created, which took a lot of risk. Because if your years in the club and your age equal 95, you now get 1/3 off of your dues. And why does that take a lot of risk? Because the first year of it, we have 50 people going into that category. That equals $142,000 that when we did the budget for 2017, we had to find a way to make up without increasing everyone else's dues. And we were able to do it. This year we did a program where we had all the house members and social members could, for $500 for 1 year, they could use the practice facilities and play a couple rounds of golf. And it was a good program because 17 took advantage of it, and you would think, oh, that must be nice, But 2 of them upgraded. That was the whole point of it. 2 actually became golf members. We also, the board did an incredible thing where instead of just periodically doing a program where we give people a waiver to come back. What's the word I'm looking for? Amnesty, thank you. So instead of just doing amnesty when its time is right, like, oh gosh, we need to get some members back and let's do amnesty, they changed the policy. So we have reinstatement policy now where if you can just come back in and give us a guarantee of 3 years. So if you sign an agreement that I'm going to stay for 3 years, you just come back in. Before it was, you had to pay what was lesser, the initiation fee again, or you had to pay the back dues. Now you just come back, you just give us a 3-year commitment. You already paid the initiation fee one time. So if you want to upgrade from where if you left as social and come back as golf, you have to pay the difference. But 23 people came back. That's fantastic. That's what we need. Member engagement is the next thing, so I can keep you here. I keep you retained. Baseball. Some of you in this room will think I'm crazy and it's silly. But for a couple $1,000 investment on the back of that range, we have families that are excited about it. Where we have great players that are willing to come in, teach the kids the fundamentals. You don't have to leave your gates, and you can get that kind of instruction. That's really just an added value for you. We have these incredible services that we've been offering. You can get a haircut here, get your car cleaned. We have in-home catering if you're not aware of that. You want us to come, chef will cook in your house, serve the food, break it down, we even bring the dishes and take them home for you if you don't want. You know, I know some of you use your stove for storage, so we can do it. Honestly, I'm not kidding. This is just a fun story. My last club I was at, the people, it was mostly folks who were retired and these people didn't cook and they wanted us to do a party in their house. And it was really difficult because we went ahead to check the house out. They didn't have a stove. She's like, I don't cook. We don't have a stove. So we're like, well, how are we going to cook the food for you? You want me to use your neighbor's house? It's just fun. So shopping consultation, tailor, wine club, chiropractic, and then the fun events. These young kid events that are coming in. That's not going to entice all of you, but maybe your grandkids, maybe your kids. Well, we have 70, 80 people coming to these breakfasts. Superhero, Disney characters. I cannot believe that kids think, that's actually my daughter, but they think that's Princess Elsa from Frozen. I can't believe it. What they think it. So it's good. Golf trips. More added engagement. I mean, this is where the synergy starts to come together with all the department heads, where Jason's working with the tennis guys, putting grass court on the driving range so that the tennis folks can play and watch, you know, a grass court event. This is incredible. This is what we need. Summer camp is now starting to fly. We had great golf camps for the kids in the past. We had great tennis camps, but now we're offering summer camps so the kids can have golf, tennis, swim, and arts and crafts and some activities. And we filled up 4 weeks of it this year, which was incredible. Mark did a great event with Steve over here, a parent-child Halloween tournament. Just always trying to do some new things and have some fun. So, we're not perfect. We need to get to the playoff. So, let's talk about the works in progress. So the swim team this year was not nearly as good of an experience as it's been in the past. So we need to upgrade our coaching, get them in the water with the kids, get them more excited so that the kids are engaged and want to go to practice. Nothing worse than your kid not wanting to go to practice to any sport. There's nothing wrong with these chairs. We put this picture because there's a lot of physical plant issues with some drainage in the pool and some decking, things like that we have to deal with to just make that feel like a nice place to be. We need to get a new aquatics director and enhance some of the events down there and make it really fun. So we're working through those things for next season. Tennis, we've done incredible this year. The guys have been off the charts, but we still got to get all of you gentlemen out there. We might have to bribe you with another koozie, get you out there. I know the knees, me too. But we got to build the men's program, continue to work on the physical plant. Jason and his team did a lot out there this year. We did some nice concrete work. We took some trees down, put some new bushes up. We need to encourage non-members to join the club. One of the challenges we're having is there's a lot of activity down there with outside lessons. We just have to make sure that our members are not being interfered with their time on the court. So I really think we're going to come up with a policy where only so many private lessons before you need to become a member. Fitness, incredible facility, doing a great job, but we have to get the utilization up. We only have a few hundred members out of 1,600 of you that are using it regularly. So, hello, is everybody coming down there with me? You gonna start working out?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. What time do you go, Dave?
You have to come with me to Lifetime because I can't go down there. I'm not allowed. Increased utilization. We want to use more revenue generating opportunities. So for example, we have that room, that group X room. Let's start doing ballroom dancing. We're going to offer martial arts for the young kids. We have that space. Let's use it. Let's get people excited about different things. one of the unique things about a club is people say you can't be everything to everyone. In a club, when it comes to events and programs, you can. When you have golf every day and you talk about how fast you want the greens, how slow you want the greens, how tight you want the fairways, when you go to the restaurant and the menu, yes, it's very difficult to be everything to everyone. But in events and programs, they can find something for everyone, and that's what we need to keep doing, so it keeps you excited. We need to make sure we get everybody healthy. Dining, it's been a sore spot here in the cellar, and I really feel good about where we are. Michael's doing a great job getting new staff, getting things consistent.
Oh, yes.
We have our new chef, and food's going to be incredible. We have a brand new menu unveiling tomorrow. They spent 2 full days getting it figured out, and if you think that for 1 minute that I'm just having lip service, yesterday we fired 5 cooks. So, and we had 3 new ones start today. There's no more time to play with it. There's no more games. Every other department runs top notch, and we're going to get it perfect. Michael's off to a great start in the front, and the chef's going to do it back there. So I just want you to know we're taking it very seriously. And how can you go wrong when every time you come in you see this great dress? These 2 beautiful ladies. So we're getting it there. Just keep giving us another chance, and we'll get it there. Golf, we're going to work on continuing to engage the female golfers. It's amazing though, every time we have an evening event with free alcohol, they'll come out. No, in all seriousness, we've done a couple of night putting events with champagne, and it's been successful. The key is get the club in everyone's hands and just start getting comfortable and come in and take up the game. Engage junior golfers. Last year the board adopted a new membership category that was absolutely fantastic. Player development. We have 3 people in that category, so the child, 7 to 21, can be the member. Can't bring parents to the pool, can't bring mom to Mother's Day, you can only play golf and practice. But it's been a great program, so the parents that think their kids are going to be the next Tiger Woods, or, well, I'm dating myself, so Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, but they think that. More member golf trips locally and regionally. You don't have to always go out of the country. We want to get you around and see the other facilities, so hopefully we get good enough that you appreciate home. Golf maintenance. Jason's an absolute all-star, but he and I know we can keep continuing to get better. So we're going to work on firming up the approaches as best we can, work on the greens over here, more landscaping improvements around the club buildings, and less aerification downtime. So what we did this year, I'm not saying they didn't do it in the past, but Steve and Jason and I sat down, and before anything went on that calendar, Jason had first dibs. And that's your greatest asset, so I think that's how it should be done, right? We make sure that we're doing the maintenance and the care for the agronomic practices. So what we're doing, instead of July, when this place is shut down for so long, is we're going to do 10 days in June and 10 in August. Because what we're trying to do when we aerify is we're trying to take about 20 to 25% of that surface area up to get that thatch out. The problem is when you do it all at once, it gets really soft, and we have a lot of risk if we had a lot of rain. And then when you're on there, it starts to feel like a little bit of a wave. We're going to let him take about 10 to 15%, let it heal, get it really healthy, let you have 6 weeks to enjoy it, and then we're going to do it again. So the recovery time is a lot quicker. So I think you're really going to enjoy these golf courses even more every year as we go. All right, boo, business. Breaking news. No dues recovery this year, and next year no dues increase. Yeah. All right. That's good stuff. All right, this is all. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is, as soon as the year ends, we get past the new year, I'm going to write a year-end report, and it'll have our financials in it and everything, and I'll send it out to every member, because it's hard to read. But the bottom line over here is that in 2013, 14, 15, we've ended the year after doing a dues recovery. We've ended the year at 1,000, 16, 21,000. This year, no dues recovery, and we'll be at a positive 21,000. Next year, with no dues increase, we're planning conservatively a $2,000 net income. Our goal is to be zero at the end of the year. Make a couple dollars, that's positive, we'll take it, but obviously we would like to make more, because number one, we could either put it into reserves for capital, or we could pay down our debt. So those are our goals. We have a lot of increased income coming in through food and beverage. You see it here. And why? Because the restaurant was only open 8 months, and we have a better chef and better service. So that's a big driver there. And you see the dues number going up. That's not from increasing your dues, that's from more members. So those are the big drivers there. And some of the stuff here, you see the overall operating expenses, they're going up almost 200 grand. That's because one of our equipment leases for the maintenance equipment, it didn't get here till March, so only paid 8 months. So we had to pay 4 more months of that, but also give the staff very modest raises. And unfortunately, we couldn't keep saving the money that we're saving with United Healthcare, and we had to go back to Blue Cross because it was almost like being an HMO because they don't have enough doctors here that are carrying it. So hopefully someday we can get more competitive. But honestly, you're paying too much of Chris's time and my time to be dealing with all the staff that was having challenges. So we had to spend probably about $25,000 to switch back for that. Now I want to just share with you about our debt. So between when the club was purchased originally and then all the projects you saw happen over the last 2 years, we have $5.5 million in debt. And right now we bring in $32,000 from all of your monthly fees, and the debt service is $37,500. So this much per month is coming out of operations or from initiation fees. So we're refinancing next week. We've put it out to bid, and we have what we think is an incredible deal that the board has approved. And so we're going to refinance 7-year term, 25-year amortization at 3.49, and no closing. And we're still bringing the same amount. We're not projecting any new members in there because it's variable. We just want to know what we deal with today. And now our payments go down to $27,505. So we'll be a positive $48.97 a month, $58,000 a year. At the end of that 7 years, we'll have $411,000 sitting in that account, which will be nice. Because one of our deals with the bank is that all your monthly payments go into their account with them and they draw it, and we can't take that money out. So there's no minimum balances required, but what is required is that all that money goes in there from your monthly payments. So at the end of the 7 years, we'll have $3.4 million in debt, and we can start talking about the future if we want to refinance that. Obviously, we're going to need to, but if we want to use this money for anything. So part of the vision, people are probably thinking, all right, well, what's next? Are we going to do any big projects? Honestly, we can't right now. We can't. So what we're going to do is engage an outside firm to work with us, and we're going to work on developing a master plan. What should we think of so that we stage things properly? You know, what should the next projects be? What should they include? We'll do some focus groups with all of you when the time is right. But what we need to focus on is this stuff over the next 5 years. This is the stuff that's not sexy, folks, but we don't have the money yet, so we need to get the new member initiation fees in, and we need to drive revenue so we can build the reserves. We have just things that need to get done. Cart path replacement, tennis courts need to get resurfaced, air conditioning, chairs, fixtures, the bridges on the golf courses, the creeks need to be restored. At some point you're going to have to deal with the irrigation system over here, which is not sexy. So we're trying to plan for all the things that haven't been addressed and not surprise you with them. We're good for a while, like a year or 2 or 3, so that we're not, oh gosh, everyone's getting assessed. No, we're going to plan it properly. And next year, I'm going to guarantee you 4 town hall meetings to just talk about this. So I'm going to tell you what are the updated costs, how do we plan on funding it, what's the timing, what years are these projects coming in. So these are things that should be a normal capital replacement, but we just don't have the reserves that are that big. We're going to have about, at year end, we'll have about $500,000 to $650,000 in the bank. That's our reserve place. So we can't be spending that money on this. People have asked, what happened with the tournament? Did we make money? The rumors out there, they lost hundreds of thousands. That's an awful tournament. We didn't. The food and beverage sales from that tournament were $372,000. We got our cost of sales, food and beverage expense, which is things like, you wouldn't believe how much paper goods we go through, and linens and rentals and things like that. Obviously labor's in there. Jason did have some additional expenses because of the tournament. Facility maintenance expense, so that was things that we had to get repaired before, from some deferred projects. And then we get 15% of all the hospitality, merchandise, and ticket net sales, and that equaled 303. So at the end, $387,000, which is in the operating budget. We use that to operate so that we don't have to raise dues. So we need to keep building that membership. Once we get that membership to 1,200, we won't need to do that, and this money can go right into capital. That's the goal. Now, the other thing that please keep in mind is they spent over $600,000 on improving the golf courses too. So right now we have 2 more years left on that, and we're just waiting to hear from them if they have interest in extending that program. So that was not bad. That wasn't that boring. Great. So let's look at the exciting future. Now I dream big. So a lot of this is 2017, 18, 19, but I want you to know where I'm thinking, because what this is going to become for you is I want it to be value and lifestyle. This isn't anything that's going to cost you more money. If it can't fund itself, then we won't do it. So things that don't cost any money. Well, I'll get to that in a second, but first, pizza delivery. That's going to start in January. We're working on that right now. So if you live in the Gates and you're a member, we'll deliver to you. If you don't, we'll start working on you folks and you, Daniel, and I got Mr. Vines. I'll bring his pizza up to the press. Clubs within a club. That's where you build your greatest friendships. Those are the things besides on the golf course. Here, we can have photography club, we can have ballroom dancing, we can have a lecture series, we can have garden club, all the things. That's up to all of you. We'll come up with 4 or 5 and start them, and then if you're active in them and they're good and 2 are successful, we'll keep them. The other ones we won't, we'll add new ones. You come send me an email. Dave, I'm passionate about having you start this club. We'll try it. Why not? So it'll be things that you can do and have fun with your friends. Physical therapy. So if unfortunately you had to have a knee replacement, we want to get to the point where you can come and have that rehab here and hopefully be able to take your insurance. So we're really trying to make it more one-stop shop lifestyle, so everything you need is in the Gates. We're putting a bid in right now to both HOAs to take over the common ground landscape. And the reason for that, it's not going to be a money maker. The reason we want to do that is build the infrastructure, because in 2018 or 19, we want to be able to offer inside the Gates home landscaping. And this crew that builds the foundation by doing that. And then when we can build that, then there's revenue opportunities. See what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to keep you here, get new members, but also drive some other revenue opportunities so your dues don't have to go up. We need to drive the revenue because I want to keep you here, keep your dues flat, drive new members, but also we have to build that capital fund. We have to find ways. I mean, if I can get, the last club I was at, we had 0 when I got there, and we took over home landscaping. It was optional, but we ended up having 180 when I left after 8 years of being there. And we're netting out $120,000 on that program. So that goes into the club. That builds capital reserves. We need to do that. It keeps good people employed. It gives Jason more bodies to do aerification. It gives you less traffic on the roads because we're using gators instead of big trucks. It's going to be less wear and tear with big trucks on the road. So there's just so many positives to it. Same thing with handyman service. First, I have to get 2 or 3 guys in my own budget here to take care of the clubhouses. But once we do that in the future, to offer handyman services, I'm sure there's 10 things that our guys could handle that you would love. You know, I see some of the beautiful homes in here with the 3-story, entries. I know you don't want to get on that ladder. You go get that light bulb. Honey, the light's out. Okay, I'll get it. 6 months later, honey, the light's out. I've been there. Tennis trips. So we talked about golf trips. We've had golf trips. And the guys have done some great tennis trips with the juniors. But we're going to start thinking big, whether it's the US Open in New York or it's take them to Wimbledon. There's packages. Let's give everybody, let's include everybody. Let's do these fun things. I know Michael's back there chomping at the bit to take you all to Napa and do a wine trip. We can do it all. It's all available. 2 full-time restaurants. If we have enough members and the food's as good as any of the area restaurants and the service is as good, why can't we have 2 restaurants going 4 to 6 nights a week? Why not? We can. So there's no infrastructure charges. It's all variable expense. I mean, I don't have to go build a restaurant and get a lease and put the equipment in there. It's already there. We're open for lunch at Legacy. So we have 1 night a week right now with white tablecloth dining. If we're good enough downstairs and you're using it and you're excited, then we can have 40, 50 people 4 nights a week over at Legacy. Let's do it. And we would love it. It'd be so fun. And you don't have to leave. I don't advocate drinking and driving, but after 2 glasses of wine, the worst possible thing you could do is in a mailbox. So don't leave the Gates. Stay in here with us. I don't want you going downtown and drinking. We need to, at some point, get a food truck. And why? Because it's branding our club. We can go within the community. We can go to special events where there's high-level folks that are attending that, whether it's a symphony or a play. We can be parked outside selling food afterwards. These are the things that we need to try to be different and creative so that we can really drive revenue, because then it's going to drive the experience with new members. Cooking classes, love to get you all in here. We can do that together. Work with Chef Allen. We have the fast teas now at Legacy. I don't know if you've all seen that, but basically what it does is it makes all the holes par 3. So it's for the ladies, for the juniors, but it's also for the guys. Maybe you got a hip injury like me, whatever it might be, and you don't want to go out there and play ladies tees, so you go out and play the fast tees. Or it doesn't have to be anything wrong with you at all. You just only have 2 hours. If you don't get home, your wife's going to kick you. You know what? So you go out there, you got 2 hours. Go play the fast tees. Why not? Go play 9 holes. You'll be done in an hour. Steve and Jason and Mark are teaming up. They're going to do a short course at both locations. So where we have the putting greens, pitching, chipping, on the driving range, we're going to create 9 locations where the plate stays stagnant of its hole 1, its hole 2, and the flag will change. And then we'll establish what par is on each one of those. So you might have a putt for just 20 feet, but then you might have to pitch 100 yards onto the green. So we're going to create par for that. We'll create a scorecard. You can turn in at the shop. They'll keep a spreadsheet. Once a week they'll post all the handicaps for that. And then each year we can do a short course championship. So when you come out and you're like, oh, what do I want to work on? We'll work on the short course. It's going to be fun. It just gives you something else to do. We're upgrading our website. Now what we're trying to do is if you go onto the website and you click on either the links for the HOAs, they're very different than ours when you go onto their site. They're a little bit dated. So what we're doing is we're changing the whole site so we're going to be one community. Even though it's 3 separate entities, we're going to be one community. When you go on to Greystone, it'll just be community, club, and real estate. And so the realtors are going to actually be able to post homes on here for a very small, reasonable fee. And then we'll get about 3% of the commission. Yeah. See if you're paying attention. So for a very small fee, they'll be able to post on there. But once you click into community, you'd have your choice of Legacy or Founders, and then you'd be able to log in just like you would with your private access. If it's the club you go into, same thing. So behind the scenes, it'll be upgraded a little bit, but it'll be similar to what you see now as a club member. But we're just going to clean things up. But the idea is that when someone's looking and they're searching, we want them to think of it as one deal. You move here, you buy a home, and you join the club. I know that's not how everybody got here, and that's not how everyone's here today, but we want to start people thinking that way. It really helps. So, what else do we have? Good stuff. All right, so the upcoming events, staff asked me to plug all our events. So we have some incredible stuff coming up. We have Holiday Open House Thursday. So we keep trying to build this. This year we've added the Southern Dinner Buffet. It's not required, but it's just an option for you. So Steve has his shop sale that's amazing. And then downstairs this year, Michael's has a wine and spirit sale. So you can taste from 5 or 6 different vendors. And a lot of them, we've asked them to bring the wine. So, have 10 or 12 cases of each there so you can just walk out with it. We'll carry it to the car for you. I don't go to the fitness center, but I do go to the gym. So I'll take it to your car. And then also, you can, if we run out of that wine, for example, it's very popular, we can get it for you by the next week. So the idea is buy all your wine for the holidays. All the gifts you're going to give or the parties you're going to have, get all that wine. Breakfast, brunch with Santa. Man, I proved myself wrong on this one. Last year I said to Mallory and Ashley, they gave me the history, I said, Saturday morning, everybody eats at the same time, then they surround Santa, they get a gift, and then we'll do like a puppet show or a magic show. They're like, they're not going to like that. I said, just do it, it'll be fine. They're like, Sunday brunch, they just want, no, we'll do it that way. Well, I ate crow, we're back to Sunday brunch. So we have, Santa will be here for about 5 hours stretch, so if you come for brunch, the kids can come see Santa, but also we have a gift for every child. So when you sign up, grandkids and kids under 12, we get their name and their age, and we buy them a gift, and they can go sit on Santa's lap and get their gift. But also, if someone wants to come by and just get their photo and they're not coming to brunch, they can do that. We just won't know that the child is coming, so they won't get a gift. Candlelight dinners, 16th and 17th. These are at Legacy. These are going to be beautiful, intimate dinners that'll have themes and be prefix menus. So the only difference when I say prefix menu is you don't have to sit down together. So if you have a party at 4 and you want to come at 7, someone else comes at 8, 6:30, that type of thing, but everybody will have a prefix menu. We'll advertise these out this week, so you can see what these menus will be. We have another wine dinner. It's like a candlelight dinner, but we're gonna do Christmas and Napa wine dinner, so Michael and Chef Allen are working together to get this menu together this week, so we can send it to you and you can get your plans together, bring all your friends. The Dickens dinner, I am not kidding when I tell you there's already 120 reservations for this. So please sign up. Now that one starts at 6 and we have an incredible buffet. We'll have carolers. And then we have Christmas Eve brunch, which is also filling up. Now we got some more fun for you. Where's my team? You guys all ready? All right. So this is the biggest event we're going to have all year. So we can't have New Year's Eve because your darn football team's too good. So Alabama's playing again on the 31st. So we're having our year-end bash, the Greystone Bash. We're going to call it Rock the Stone on the 30th. So we need y'all to come.
Is Bob Booby playing?
So please come to the Rock the Stone party. It's going to be a blast on the 30th. It's a Friday night. That's why we're doing it. And in all honesty, we had so many events planned for the 25th anniversary. And we didn't sell them all out. And this band was planned for one of those nights. And they were kind enough to roll their deposit to another night this year. So we created this event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Please get your glasses, wear them with pride. And so last but not least is we have two traditions that we started last year. And one is that after this meeting, there's an hour open bar down the cellar. So that keeps questions down. This is good. I'm very transparent. So, and then we're going to start a pizza and pasta buffet that's already open and ready for you whenever we're done here. That's optional if you'd like to stay for that. But hour open bar, those are the traditions that we're trying to start. And I'm so thankful to be here and work in at Greystone and be here with all of you. And I'm looking forward to a great 2017. I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Smith.
So how about that for an exciting presentation? Thank you for 2016 and helping me and the board accomplish what we had hoped to accomplish, and looking forward to 2017 and your plans. If I could I ask all the past presidents to stand, please, that are here tonight? I just want to, first of all the thanks for letting me come. I just want to thank you all for everything that y'all have done in the past, and just wanted to ask you a question. Do you remember what my #1 agenda was when I took this office? Anybody remember? I was going to get your pictures out of the bathroom, the restroom, all of it. Did I get that Again, I wanted to thank the board again for all the help that they gave me this year, and accomplishing what I think we accomplished our goals. And sorry Janice couldn't be here tonight. She's not feeling well, and Scott had to leave, but thank you. I appreciate it. And I wanted to announce the election results. Congratulations to Lane Milam. Deb Warren and Joyce Alls. Looking forward to your leadership. Thank you for willingness to serve. Well, thank you for being here tonight, and I have the pleasure of introducing our incoming president, Russ Hale, for 2017. And we're looking forward to an exciting year. And I'll turn the mic over to you, Russ.
he spent.
Hey, Terry.
So kept the morale very high and endured some long board meetings, and they did a good job. And also the past presidents. You know, leadership is not something you can just do. And the people that have been here way before me, I just hope I can hold a candle to what they've done in the past and lead this club through some tough times. Two or three quick points. I know we want to get downstairs to the open bar, because that's the best part.
Yeah.
But our team that we have works hard putting programs together and taking care of our facilities. And we're all members of this club because we want to come out here and get away from work and the pressures of home. We want to have fun when we come out here. I mean, that's what we really need to do. But a club is not made by facilities. We can have a restaurant, we can have a fitness facility, but that's not what makes a club. A club has to be when the members are engaged. When you're meeting new people, I was just looking right here, we have 850 members. We have 150 new members that we got in this last year. That's 300 people if you count their spouses, and more than that if you count their children, that don't know everybody out here. The 700 other members, that's 1,400 other people. So how we make this club great is meet other people and come to the events and show up and keep up. And then, if it's very social, we want to have these 44 cash-ins, what do you call them? Resignations that we're looking at this coming year. Because a lot of people leave just because it's just, you know, and it's no fun. So if all of us can be ambassadors and really work on that, and then Dave's come with a program that we've got the committees that are in the bylaws, right? We're going to have another ad hoc committee, if you will, but it's going to be a membership engagement. We're going to get people that are interested in being leaders in this club to help talk to other members, get the event participation up, and RSVP. I mean, that's nothing worse than nobody RSVPing for events. I mean, that's a big problem here because they expect 20, 100 show up. Service is bad. They expect 100, 20 show up. We waste money. So this club is notorious for not RSVPing. So that's the couple of things I would like to look at. So it's next year, and I'm talking to myself. I'm the world's worst at coming in the last minute. So those are things I think we can do as members. They're doing a lot of hard work to get the facilities going. What can we do? Have fun. You know, if you see somebody sitting over there, go introduce yourself to them. There's a lot of people walking around here that have only been here a year. So their impressions are going to be formed by how we as long-term members treat them and introduce them to people. So I hope that's it. I want to be the friendliest club in the Southeast. I don't care what you call it, premium platinum, but I want to be the friendliest club in the Southeast for people to come visit Greystone. I look forward to next year. Thank you, everybody. Meeting adjourned, and that's the best part of the meeting, and downstairs.
The bar is open.
Thank you.
Ashley.